All right. Shalom Yasharallah. Before we get started, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the 04 elect. Back another video, another lesson. All right, the title, this one's going to be called One People Shall Fight Against Another. All right, and give me 1 second. This one come from a video I got off Instagram. All right, now I'm not gonna play the whole video. This is like I believe it's like 6 minutes, but I'm gonna play a little bit of it. But you see, it says we have a message for all of you. You won't win the war with us. As you see this guy sitting here, I don't know his name, but he could be a Jake. You know, when I did watch the video, I believe he could be, but you know, he could also be an Edomite. You know, and this is the division that's gonna come to America, man. You know, the wars and the civil wars, stuff like that. But let's listen in to a little bit, and then we'll get some scriptures and Lord willing. This lesson is edifying for you brothers and you sisters out there. So let's listen in.
Has made an issue out of nothing so big he's making a tissue look like sandpaper. Put a video out, essentially threatening white people, saying that he's going to take us out, acting like he's still living in slave times. I just have to ask, just so we can get this out of the way, the amount that some black people talk about slave times, it almost makes me think that y'all miss it, you know? Like you want to go back in time. Like if you have a really bad traumatic thing happen in your life, are you talking about it every second you get? Or are you just trying to leave it in the past? Like, oh, hey, if your wife cheats on you, are you sitting there telling everybody about it? Or are you just like, okay, well, she's an idiot, I left, and we're moving on. Simple. Now look, I get it. We all have our moments where we get sensitive. Catch me in traffic, especially when I'm towing a trailer and somebody's tailing me. There are not too many things in life that makes me want to fight more than that. But of course, you've got to be able to tone that shit down and just say, okay, if I have to slam on my brakes, this guy's getting a cross member right in his forehead because he's driving a Honda Civic. So why don't we listen to this guy just sit there.
One way black people achieve true liberation, that's by taking it in blood. There has to be blood all over the floor. There has to be bodies on the floor. There has to be people screaming and crying. That is the reality. And this is what history shows me. No amount of begging, no amount of complaining, no amount of protesting, nada is going to get you your liberation until you take it with blood. You see? So this is why I sit back and I don't play along with any of these black people talking about it's a spiritual war and this, that, because when those cops are going into our neighborhoods and shooting our babies, that's a physical thing, right? Address the physical. You see, this is why I say don't hit my phone until y'all ready to do what y'all know we got to do. When y'all ready to go outside and hunt them white boys, hunt them cops, go to that white boy's neighborhood and fuck it up. When y'all ready to do what y'all know we got to do, hit me. But until then, I'm not playing around with y'all because it's all of these excuses for why we don't want to do it. I'm going to sit back and do my thing. When y'all ready to go outside and take blood, hit me anytime. But you see, a lot of us are not ready to do that. But I'm trying to tell y'all, there is no freedom. There is no liberation for.
And I'm gonna stop it right there, you know. But because you know I don't got that much time. You know, I'm on a time limit. But you know, that's the spirit that you know people are now coming in. You know. And this is gonna go further as we go on, you know, in these latter days that we're living in. You know, don't forget that let me see. All right, this a couple weeks ago, Cincinnati police fatally shot an armed 18-year-old. The next day, his father killed a sheriff's deputy, authorities say. You know, so people are coming in that spirit. Well, the Lord is putting the spirit on people to come like that. You know, it's about to be division. You're gonna see civil war play out. You know, one race against another, race wars and stuff like that. That's I wanted. You know, the race war aspect. You know, that's what we're about to see. You know, just the same back. You know, in the times of, you know, MLK. You know, what's the other guy's name? I forgot his name. MLK and other dude. He was Islam. He was he went to Islam. You know. That's what we're about to see in these latter days that we're living in, man. Okay. But I want to get some scriptures though. Let's get Isaiah 19:2. Let's pull that. It says, Just want to show you. This Isaiah 19 and verse 2. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, the burden of Egypt, right? Which this is talking about spiritual Egypt, which is America. All right, America is the spiritual Egypt. Tells you that in Revelations, Revelations 11 and the 8th verse. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord, all right, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, right, rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be removed at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it, right? And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. It's like, letting people go past and shit. Gotta watch these people. But I'm gonna read it again. Verse 2, it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. That's what we're about to see. People will be fighting one another, man. One race against another. You're gonna have the Klansmen, the what they call it, the Black Panther Party, the civil rights movement and stuff like that come against each other, man. And they're gonna clash heads. All right, we're about to see bloodshed in the streets, like this guy was saying. He's coming in that spirit. You don't hit my phone unless you don't want to go to the white boys' neighborhood and do them like how they do us. They lynch so-called black people. They murder us in the streets. The police murder us in the streets. Now they want to return the favor, right? There was another instance in let me see, that thing in Cleveland. I forgot who they were, but it was that thing in Cleveland. Don't forget about that. Where they had it was the I forgot who it was, but they were on the bridge. And they were in a black neighborhood. So, and this is what the elites want, of course. Really is what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai wants, to bring down this system. Let's get Matthew 12. All right. Like I said, I don't want a time limit here. So, but this is Matthew the 12th chapter. I'm gonna start at 22. Right. It says, then was brought unto him one possessed with a devil, blind and dumb, and he healed him, insomuch that the blind and dumb both spake and saw. And all the people were amazed, and said, is not this the son of David? Proving you that he comes from that that lineage, right? And he also came through he had a physical father, which was Joseph, but that's for another video. But it says, verse 24, but when the Pharisees, who were Israelites, right, heard it, they said, this fellow doth not cast out devils, but by Beelzebub, the prince of devils. And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? You see that? Let's read this in the NLT version. Right? It says, I'll go straight to the point, verse 25. It says, Yahushua knew their thoughts and replied, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed. A town or family splintered by feuding will fall apart. And it says, and if Satan is casting out Satan, he is divided. And you see that right now. We're in a divided kingdom. It goes back to Daniel, the 2nd chapter. The toes will be divided. All right, you got Edomites against Edomites. Some don't agree. They're not on the same page. Right? If you guess where Satan, okay, is Satanas. That word Satan is Satanas in the Greek. The word is adversary, right? That's what it means. Satan means adversary, right? But if you go down, definition B, it says a Satan-like man. All right, and that's talking about who? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And back then, in the Roman Empire, and in that captivity, which the Israelites was in, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, they were under the Roman captivity. They were under the Edomites, right? Herod, the Caesars, Julius Caesar, the different rulers of that time. All right. But and we're in the same thing today. We're still under the Roman Empire today. the revival Roman Empire. We're still under these different, you know, we're still under these devils, man. All right, but it says every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and this kingdom is divided, and we're going to be more divided, you know, in the coming times. Right? Let's get Luke. This is Luke 12. The Lord's going to bring division. This is Luke 12 and 51. And it reads, come on now. I'll start at 49. It says, I am come to send fire. All right. I am come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it be already kindled? But I have a baptism to be baptized with. And how am I straitened till it be accomplished? Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you, nay, but rather division. The Lord's coming to bring division. All right. He's going to put that spirit of division, you know, on these people soon. Division, a parting, distribution, disunion, dissension. All right. Look up real quick. Dissension, disagreement that leads to discord. All right. It's gonna be dissension, division in America. For henceforth, there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. You know, and people also gonna be divided among one another. You know, your family is gonna be divided against them, be against you, right? NLT, let's read an NLT version. 49 again. That says, I have come to set the world on fire. Right? The Lord's about to bring fire to this place, and I wish it were already burning. I have a terrible baptism of suffering ahead of me, and I am under a heavy burden until it is accomplished. This is when Yahushua is about to go up and be delivered, be betrayed. Right? Do you think I have to come to bring peace to the earth? No, I have come to divide people against each other. Boom. The Lord's coming to divide people against one another, man. All right, and we about to see a spirit like that, a heavy spirit out there like that out here. Okay, let's get 2 Esdras 15. All right, I read that. It says, this is 2 Esdras chapter 15. I started at 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. What's it? In a modern day sword is what? The guns that people have. You know? And you about to see, hey, there's about to be a whole lot of bloodshed out here. People gonna be ganging up, making gangs, you know. If you go in this territory, you gonna get dealt with, man. We're about to see that on a high level. Look at they put it in the movies. The Purge. The Purge is one. Right? Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Let's see if we can get the GNT real quick. All right, let's GNT it. Let's go over, huh? All right. This is the book of 2 Esdras 15 in a great, the Good News translation. Verse 14. It reads, the world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. You know, wars and stuff like that. There will be great political turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. All right. And you're going to have, you know, a political turmoil, you know, but it's going to be a division here in America. That's the message. You know, people going to be fighting against one. There's going to be race wars, civil war, political wars. All right. And ultimately nuclear war, you know, World War III. But before that happens, the mark of the beast, the R5DC has to be made, has to be implemented. All right. It has to be established before the World War III happens. All right, let's get this last one I got. 2 Esdras 13 and 31. Okay, and it reads, I'm gonna start at 29. It says, behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another and one realm against another. You see, one people against another and one realm against another. And what does that mean? That one realm against another. Ultimately, when the Lord Yahweh Shah returns with the angels, all right, they're gonna go to war with the nations of the earth. They're gonna try to fight against Yahweh Shai and the angels, but they're gonna be totally obliterated, man. They're not gonna make it. They ain't gonna win. But the Lord is gonna put the spirit on them to fight. You know, that's that war in heaven. That's spoken about in Revelation, I believe, the 12th chapter. All right, but it says it's gonna be one people against another. People gonna be fighting one another, man. All right. I'll play a little bit more, then I'll close it out.
Our people.
All right, so let's just walk through this ironclad logic, if we can. A white person pisses you off or makes you feel uncomfortable, or just their mere presence in life brings up the fact that maybe some of your ancestors were slaves. You interpret the white person's simple existence as systemic oppression for y'all. Not, okay, well, let's give this guy a chance. Maybe he's a good guy. Maybe he's a lefty liberal who hates white people, but is white. We have a lot of those. And that's confusing, but we'll talk about that a different time. But you view white people's existence as just a threat to you. So then you go and you threaten to hunt them. So if we can we just run through this real quick, how this would go? So these are rough numbers, but black people make up about 12.1% of America. Hispanic or Latino, this is probably very wrong because this was back in 2020. Now this is probably right.
And they always try to, these Edomites, man, they think they haven't done Jake is wicked. But the things that these people have done is totally far out, man. They can't even compare, But these people don't care. So ultimately, man, division is on the way. People gonna be civil war and race wars is about to play out. So I'm gonna end it there because I gotta get back. But Lord willing, it was edifying. We gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash, and double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone and teaching well. Peace and salutations to those for elect. Lord's will use edified. To the next video, I'm gonna say Shalom.